to donate. Tareeqah Muhammadiyah, an organization.
Again. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Amma ba'du fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To all our brothers and sisters who have joined us in this very special program, the Itikaaf of the last 10 remaining days of Ramadan. This is an annual event that I certainly look forward to every year, because it's a great opportunity to really connect and reconnect and strengthen our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even if you felt that from the beginning of the month of Ramadan till now you've not really utilized the opportunity to earn the most maximum blessings and rewards of this month, do not despair. As our title is, Arise from Despair. This is the actual moment where you can change that. This could be the game changer for me and you. And that's why I always look forward to this annual Ramadan Itikaaf, because it allows me to break away from the dunya, to decontaminate my mind from the pollution of not just from the beginning of the month, but for the whole year, that we have accumulated that pollution, the pollution of sins, the pollution of heedlessness, and that disconnect that we may have been suffering from with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the opportunity now to put right and make amends. And we have a great program lined up for you. And what I want to do is make sure that you are sort of aware of what to expect, put you in the right mindset, and also the onus is on you to put down on paper why you have sat this Itikaaf. Some of you are sitting for the full 10 days, the full Sunnah Itikaaf. Some of you are doing Nawafil maybe just for a few days. Some of you are popping in and popping out, for obvious reasons. You may have, got the commitments and responsibilities which you may have tried to rearrange and were unable to do so. It happens to us all. It's just the way of life. But what I want to do is, especially for the people who are here for the full 10 days, that applies to both online participants and physical participants who are here today. Our schedule has been laid out after a lot of meticulous planning in terms of when the sessions start, when is rest time, and when is personal individual worship time. We highly recommend that you follow that. You do not deviate from that. You do not start going off to do your own things, because you want to benefit. If you want to benefit from what we have laid out for you, then you have to strictly follow that schedule. Sometimes if you miss a session and jump on to the next one, that next session may not make sense to you, because the theoretical explanation of that second session that which you may have just joined was probably in the session before, and what you have joined is just a practical session. So that's why it's very important that you stay with us. It's a journey, and we want you to come along with us. And this is going to be different to your normal routine. I say this is like a boot camp, Navy SEAL training, where we want to give you some life-changing tools that you can take away after the month of Ramadan and still continue to use and benefit from, and most importantly, try and turn things around for yourself. And in these 10 days, we turn things upside down for you. We will be obviously going to sleep at a different time than you have probably been used to, even in the first 20 days or so of Ramadan. We will be starting sessions at different times to when you probably would have been sleeping at home in your normal routine. Because our schedule, as I've said, has been planned after a lot of previous experiences and feedback, and we know now what works best and what does not work. And this is a mixture of theoretical and practical sessions. We're not here just to give you a lot of lectures for you to just to make notes and go away. We are here to take you on a journey where you will be really implementing some life-changing strategies in your life. I speak from experience. I've been coming to these Itikaaf sessions for many years. For me personally, it's been a great tool for personal development and opportunity, and I've seen that for many other people as well. And for yourself, what you should be thinking is, why have I joined this Itikaaf, whether it's physically or online? What are you hoping to achieve out of it? You need to write those goals down. Normally when people think about Itikaaf, they see, when I'm telling you from my experience, when I was growing up in our local masjids, we used to see people sitting in a corner with a curtain drawn around them, always engaged in their own individual worship. And to be honest with you, we used to think that this must be a very lonely and even frightening experience, just being on your own for 10 days, because many people are not even comfortable with their own company, especially for such a long period of time. Whereas here, it's more different. Even though you're sitting at home in doing this Itikaaf in solitude, the way we will be engaging with you, you will never feel that you are on your own. And you have to ask yourself, what it is that you want to achieve by the end of, between now and the end of the 10 days. I want you to write those goals down, and I want to see how you measure up, or how we have measured up for you in terms of what we have delivered, and what your own achievements have been in relation to what we have set out to do. And I can promise you, if you do follow this properly the way we tell you, you are going to be able to achieve some of those objectives of being able to have a better connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a better connection with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and be able to have the tools to help fight heedlessness in your life, to help fight the temptation of sin, and help overcome heedlessness and general disconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The tools that you learn, they will help you not just in your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in your everyday life, because we have lots of problems which for the solution lies in what you will be learning here over the next 10 days or so. And what I want you to do is take this very seriously. I'm not saying that you haven't. You've set 10 days aside, but those of you who are probably only sitting for a couple of days or intend to drop in and out as and when you are allowed to, take it very, very seriously for the very short time that you are with us. For each session, sit with the right adab, sit with the right mindset. Make sure you are proper secluded from everything else in terms of any distractions. Set a separate room aside in the house where you are not disturbed by other members of the household. Make sure that place is clean, it's clutter free. And how you also conduct yourself is very important as well, and has an effect on your own spiritual development. If we are sitting in our own bedroom, we think nobody else is with us, that is also the wrong mindset. Because when that person, that teacher, is addressing you through Zoom, through the online medium, whichever one you are watching, they are addressing you in person. Don't think that they're addressing hundreds of other people. I'm just another number and I can just do my own thing and have the recorder, the session playing in the background. If you do that, it's going to affect how much of an impact this will have on you. It also is important that you are sitting there in the most appropriate etiquette in terms of dress. Just because you are on your own, it doesn't mean that you just lounge around in your night clothes and pajamas because nobody's watching, or you just lie down on your bed and you're listening to the actual session. I speak from experience. If you do that, you will fall asleep, and it's so easy for that to happen. So sit properly as if you're sitting in a classroom amongst your peers and the teacher is there in front of you, and that will really have a great positive effect on your learning. When it's rest time, again for physical participants as well, please rest, because if you don't rest, then you will be too tired during the actual sessions. And many of these sessions, when we're having a practical session, you're expected to close your eyes and go into a deep meditation, and if you're really tired, trust me, you'll end up falling asleep. And even in the sessions where we're just giving a theoretical lesson, you will not have that sort of ability to grasp what is being delivered. So when we say now is a rest time, please rest. And the way this schedule has been devised, there's plenty of time that has been allocated to rest for you. So it's not as if, yes, it's intensive, but it's not that intensive that you will not be given time to rest. So please make the most of that opportunity, and do rest when you are required to do so. Constantly review your objectives. Constantly see, at the end of every day, do a little review of what have you learned today. What new thing can you implement beyond Ramadan in your life? And also, these sessions are very interactive. We don't want just passive recipients of information. You will be requested, both the people sitting here and online, you'll be requested to interact with us. We've got the facilities set up on Zoom for you to sort of come online live, speak to us, ask any questions as and when those opportunities are given. You'll be given opportunity to give us any feedback from any session that we have had. You'll be given the opportunity to ask any questions just to help reaffirm your learning, anything you don't understand, anything you may be confused about. The way we have structured these sessions is that we have a theoretical session, then that's normally followed by a practical session, and then we follow that with a feedback session where it's your time to engage with us and tell us of any experience that you may have had during the meditation that we will be teaching you. And that could be something that you're not sure about, you need clarification on, or just a positive experience that you had for the benefit of others that you would like to share with us. And that's why we want you to be active and be engaging. We don't want people just to go silent and not respond to any questions and give us their feedback. At the end of the day, a lot of effort has gone on in putting a program like this together physically, in terms of the infrastructure of the media, the social media platforms, the teachers who are here, who have given their time up voluntarily to teach, because yes, they're here for 10 days anyway, but they could be sitting here doing their own thing, their own worship, their own meditation. And I can assure you, I know behind the scenes how much effort has gone on to put a program like this together, and a lot of preparation goes in for each teacher, trainer, to make sure that the material is up to date and relevant before it is delivered to the participants. And that's why it's the utmost importance that you try and attend every single session and do not miss it. And especially for the people at home. I mean, the people here physically are locked away in the masjid, and they can't just run out and go back home. But I have more concern about online participants, that the temptation for them just to go out of their room or check upon what the kids are doing and see what the other family members are doing and get distracted, the temptation is going to be very, very high. And the onus is on you to be disciplined to ensure that you don't fall into that trap. And what that is, these are the traps of the shayateen to take you off course, because you have started have a noble intention and a noble effort to spend the rest of the month of Ramadan in isolation, cut off from the dunya. And our arch enemy, the shaitan, does not like that. And not only the shaitan, but your own nafs is not going to like that, because he was used to indulgence even in the month of Ramadan, of eating throughout the night, whatever you want, sleeping during the day for however long you want, and doing whatever you want basically, even in the month of Ramadan. And now we are trying to force you to do things in an opposite way, and the nafs is going to be screaming. It's going to not enjoy it initially. It may not enjoy it at all, to be honest, but the way to overcome that is to do the opposite of what the nafs is saying for you to do. If you are finding something of uncomfortable because it's not what you've been used to doing before, then you really have to push yourself, because at the end of the day, we are here to achieve a better, noble, long-term objective of connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we don't do that now, we will never be able to achieve that, because for many of you, like myself, have been struggling for years to try and better ourselves. And these are the rare, precious moments when somebody else is there to hold you by the hand and take you on a journey. And if we don't do that, then we are the biggest losers. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, as I've said. So have patience. And before you start, I mean, I get this all the time personally. Before you start, you think 10 days. That's such a long time. Is everybody here thinking the same? Physically, do you feel 10 days? It's going to be a long time. How am I going to be away from the family? Or some of you are probably happy to be away from the family, I don't know. Or the family's happy to see you go for 10 days. Uncle is shaking his head saying yes. And, but they go so quickly. Honestly, they go so rapidly that it's like you blink and you've missed it. So just to recap, at the end of the day, the onus is on yourself of how much you want to take out of this. We are here just as facilitators. We can't force anybody to do anything. Probably can with the physical participants, to make sure that they wake up and they're sitting there and they're present in the sessions. But those of you sitting at home, watching this online, nobody is going to come wake you up. Nobody is going to grab you by the arm and make you sit in front of the computer, in front of that Zoom session and participate. And if you've made that intention, then see it through, that you sort of make the most of this opportunity. I'm certainly looking forward to the next 10 days. As I've said, the brothers here have laid out a great program for you. And in a nutshell, there's so many facets to this program where you will be learning not only what is that path to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you will also be learning what is that path that takes you to the shaitan and the hellfire. You'll be learning how to rise from this current sort of turmoil of the pandemic and the last 12 months of despair that majority of us have suffered with. In terms of many of us have lost loved ones. Many of us have lost our jobs, our livelihoods, we've lost our incomes, and we've just lost so much in the last 12 months or so of this in the pandemic. And many of us are feeling very negative, and we need to now rise above this negativity and recreate a more positive self, where we are going to be able to, emerge a better, more spiritually stronger people, more mentally stronger. And we are going to teach you things that which you could never have imagined prior to this. We will show you how to tap in to the treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you do dua, how to do the dua in the best manner possible, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fulfill every one of your needs. Problem is that we all do dua, but how many of us know how to do dua properly? How many of us know how to really tap in to the treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Here we are going to teach you how to do that, and you can do that beyond the month of Ramadan. You can do it every day, whenever you want, whenever you have a lawful need that needs fulfilling. How to call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to really have every aspect of your life, whether it's a physical, material need or a spiritual need, to have that fulfilled. Majority of us, when we pray, we don't even, whilst we are praying, we are in self-doubt. We think, what I'm praying for, maybe it's not gonna get fulfilled, because what I've asked for is something so vast and great, and I can't see that being fulfilled. We don't have that belief inside of us. This is a big mistake that we make, almost bordering on shirk, really, because you are underestimating the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give. You have limited things with your own mindset, with our own sort of limitations, and we've put those limitations, na'uzu billah, on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why we will teach you how to change that mindset and have that belief to really make a dua and then believe and start acting that it is going to be fulfilled. I have seen miracles happen through this. Believe me, trust me, and you will be pleasantly surprised if you start implementing that and see how your life will turn around. And if you desire whatever you desire, we all like money, we all want things in life, we all have problems, and we want to show you how to get those lawful needs fulfilled, how to get those problems removed. And that's why I say that do not see this 10-day Itikaaf as a disconnect from the dunya, in terms of these being two totally separate things. What we will teach you here will help you in the dunya beyond the month of Ramadan, not just in your spiritual matters, but in physical matters, in terms of being able to manifest success the way you love to have that, the way you deserve and the way you would love to have that in your life. I've covered most of the points. Again, you'll hear a lot from myself. Just sorry, I forgot to mention, my name is Zafar. I'm your host throughout the 10 days. And throughout the 10 days, we'll be giving you regular messages and updates. So if I've not covered anything now, it will be covered throughout the sessions and throughout the next few days. And you're with us, we're with you for the next 10 days. I certainly am looking forward to it, and inshallah ta'ala you will not be disappointed. Just have the patience, have the courage, and have the stamina to stay with us. And I'm going to wrap this session up now, give you a 5-minute break, because we are going to go to our first main session of this Itikaaf, which is just to give you the fix of the do's and don'ts of Itikaaf rules and rulings, and just to ensure that what we don't do things over the next 10 days that which invalidate our Itikaaf. So we do this in the correct sort of manner possible from a Sunnah and Sharia point of view. So we just take a break now, give yourself an opportunity to have a stretch, freshen up. It is 7:45. Just give us 5 minutes, inshallah, and we'll be back. Imam Qais will be leading the next session up until Maghrib. So 5-minute break, inshallah. See you shortly. Jazakallah.